right now. And hi, everyone. Thanks for watching this video. As I am going to handle the background tech bit of this thing, I don't want you to be just watching me, fuck around with this thing, my computer that is. We will let Heather tell you why we are here today to share her story and why is it so important that this message gets out to everyone. So Heather, what is the takeaway you want the viewers to get from this?
Yeah, thanks, Karen. Super excited to be here. And guys, what I want to share with you is a little bit of a controversial topic, which is that attractive people, societally conventionally attractive people who are choosing to be single and choosing to hold out for that right partner. And the pressures that we face and some of the judgments and the criticisms around why are you still single? What's wrong with you? Are you broken? And so what I want to bring to people is the autonomy for them to really feel empowered to choose and to be okay and holding out for that yes, and not feeling like they have to settle and not feeling like they're broken for not having a partner by a certain age.
Exactly right. That's difficult, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, so difficult.
Yes. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've heard like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Why are you still single?
Isn't it when you go on dates? That's what happened, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Or they'll be like, huh, you must have a really like complicated history, or like what happened? Like,
oh, baggage. How about that? Baggage will be a good one, won't it?
Yes, 100%. There's all sorts of assumptions. And so you kind of feel like you're on the defense, right? You could be on a date and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting kind of badgered with this like suspicion. Like they almost look at you with suspicion, like, huh, this seems too good to be true. So therefore, let me find out what's wrong with you.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
you're on trial. Yeah, you're on trial. That's kind of what it feels like.
Exactly. So I just want to put it out there. This is the second video I've done, and if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you'll know that I don't like to mess around with tech. So I refuse. This is part of my brand. This is it. It's free and easy. I refuse to edit my video. So very quickly, I just want to put it there. And so today, thank you for watching us live now on Facebook. We have Heather. And what got me to talking with Heather is that her posts on Facebook fascinates me. She talks a lot about, she shares a lot of her story and what she does. And I just like her. So I thought let's organize a chat and see what happens. And what came out of this conversation between us is that she look at her, just look. So take a few seconds to just look at her and then tell me what kind of the biggest problem she faces. Actually, is judgment. You'll be surprised, won't it? That someone who looks like that would face judgment. So in this video, this is what we will uncover. What is her backstory? Why did she choose to remain single? And why does she choose to do what she does as a living and for a living? Why did she make these choices? What are these choices? Followed by what are the consequences of these choices? I know I keep using the word choices. So I don't have decisions. How about that? Another word. And finally, I don't do these series of videos just because I can. I mean, partly because I can, but because there is a truth out there that we and myths that we want to dispel. Things are not what they seem, and too many people are afraid to go there to talk about it. But we're not. That's why we're like, you ask me and I'll tell you.
That's right. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide.
That's it. This is the highest level of self-acceptance, sir. This is as good as it gets. And you know what? I want to share with the world so that I can cut the rest of you loose, because it's all here. It's all about you, not anyone else. Right? So let's jump straight back. What started this conversation between us, and what is Heather's backstory? Will just tell us.
Yeah. Well, my backstory, Karen, and I'm so glad that we're talking today because I adore you and I just feel like I love speaking the truth. And I feel like that's been something that's been a relevant theme for me just ever since I was in high school, like a little rebellious, like kind of questioning societal norms, like pushing back, not being afraid to stand up and to be the black sheep and choose a different way and say
That's
like,
it.
you know what, everybody's going this way, but that doesn't feel right for me. And I'm going to go my way and I'm going to follow my path. And
Yep.
so I think what really, just drew me, I think to even to you and to your page and what you post about is that free, rebellious, I'm going to be me, authentic spirit and being here to speak the truth and share that with people. That's really what compelled me to be here. And I'll be fully transparent about my story. Um, Relationships, it's been a roller coaster. It really has for me. I've been through some toxic things, to be honest with you. I've been with some partners where, there was some emotional and verbal abuse, where just a lot of like, fighting and dysfunctional kind of behaviors where we at some point became roommates and we were just like staying in it just to be in
Yeah.
it. We were going through the motions. Like, this relationship wasn't working. And yet, like, this guy I was living with proposed to me and we were just like following the motions. And in my
Yes.
heart, I was like, this doesn't feel right though. Like, this doesn't, like, we're doing all the things we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I was in my head at the time, I was like, I'm 28 years old. This is where I'm supposed to be in life.
Yeah.
So in my head, I felt like at a crossroads. Do I settle and do I go down this path that doesn't feel right in my heart? Or do I take this make this big decision that says this doesn't feel true and right? Like I need to pull out as hard as it might be and as uncertain as the future is. Like I need to follow my truth and I need to follow my path for me.
Yeah.
And,
So what
ending an
happened when you made
engagement.
that decision? A lot of people must be shocked, like family, and oh my God, how did he take it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was shock, to be honest with you. Although, some people in my family and a few friends kind of like, they kind of knew that it wasn't maybe 100% aligned. But there were definitely people that were like, what are you doing? Like, are you crazy? Like, you've got this person who's trying to marry you. And I was like, but we don't love each other. Why are we doing this? And
Yeah.
it was more important for me to like to follow my heart and to speak my truth than it was to stay comfortable in a lie.
Yeah. Because I must agree though, many of us, once you've dated someone past a certain time, you think that, oh yeah, now the next step is the next step. Rightfully is you get married, you have children, and then you get stuck into this vortex
Yes.
and you don't even know what's going on. You don't know where you're at. You just have no idea who you are. That's how a lot
Mhm.
of people lose themselves. And they have children. When the children grow up, they decided, oh my God, I stopped loving you 30 years ago and I'm out.
Mhm.
That is so
Mhm.
scary though. And good for you for having the courage to do that. I mean, I left my marriage after I've married him for so long. I did love him when I married him, but I was only 18.
Mhm.
So I grew
Ah.
up, if I may, and but yet I see people who've been together for the longest time and they're happy together. They're high school
Mhm.
sweethearts and they've been together forever. So that works for some, may not work for others, and that's fine. So yep, that's all well and good though. That doesn't sound it's that part of your life sounded like, yes, I recognize that that's not right for me, so I didn't do it. But how did that lead on to this part where you decided, you know what, I'm sure there's pressures from society and from friends to say, oh my God, you're not getting younger, TikTok, biological clock and all that talk. Tell us about it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I know so many people and especially like just to be honest, like where I live in the area of the US, like the Midwest, like people settle down kind of young here in general. Like we're talking like 20s is like your typical time frame. And there's this pressure of like, if you don't get this within this window, like I mean, I had girlfriends who were like, if I do not get married and have a baby before 29, my life is over. Like before I hit 30, like before I hit
Wow.
30, like my life is over. And it's just like, where does this mentality and pressure come from? And so, I mean, to be raised in this environment, like obviously I've lived here my whole life, you kind of buy into that conditioning. And so then there's this like pressure that you feel where you're like, oh shit, like, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I like, do I need to fix myself to try to like become something so that somebody will want me? Like, it's really kind of an icky feeling when you think about it. And so I've definitely heard all sorts of things where it's like, oh, well, I guess you're just going to be like, you know, the fun friend or the fun aunt
Oh
or,
my
you
God,
know,
no.
whatever. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like you hear all sorts of stuff. And people are like, oh, are you trying to be like that Sex in the City lifestyle? Like, you know, it's just, it's just a lot of judgment, right? And it's a lot of like, why are you different? Like, why are you not falling in line with what everybody else is doing?
Yeah. So how do you respond to those taunting, if I may?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, Karen. I think like initially, like it hurt me. And I would really you know, kind of almost feel like I had nothing to say back. I was just kind of like, oh, you know, it'll happen when it's meant to happen. Like I would kind of take it, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like I feel like once I kind of started to get outside of that and more into like, you know what, like screw it. Like I'm owning me and I'm fine. I'm fine with it. And I'm actually so happy and grateful that I didn't follow what everybody else said
Yeah.
because it allowed me to grow into the woman that I am today, which I wouldn't trade that for the world. And so the way that I would respond now is just kind of is just with that, like just with my truth and saying like, you know, hey, I will, this will happen for me when it's meant to and when it feels right for me. And I trust in my path and I trust in the universe that that this is coming for me. And I feel like I'm gonna have a like a big love. And I'm just putting that out here right now for everybody,
That's
everybody
it.
on here.
That's it,
Like
girl. Go,
I'm
go and
hoping
say it. Go
that.
and ask for it. You need to ask for it. If not, you're not going to get it. That's my big thing when I teach my children. Ask and you shall receive.
Yes.
Ask
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. No, and I yeah, and I'm ready to claim it here. I want to have just this big cosmic incredible love that is just like everything that I was imagining and more. And, you know, and that person that I meet, like that we're going to do good things in the world together. Like that's what I want. Deep down is just that we're not only going to be like in partnership for love and, you know, for family and that sort of thing, but to like do good together in the world, like to have an aligned, you know, mission and purpose together. And I feel like that's special. So,
It is. That sounds amazing. It'll be so exciting
mhm.
when it happens, though. We have to update when it happens. Not if it happens, it's when it happens because it
Yeah.
will happen.
Yes.
Now, let's just pepper in a little bit of fun stuff for our viewers. Tell me, what are some of the questions you get asked when you go on blind dates? I'm sure you've been on blind dates.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
what do they say when they
Yeah.
see you?
Okay. Well, I'll be honest, I did a speed dating, a virtual speed dating not that long ago, and it was just kind of like it was like a circus, to be honest with you. Like I had I had one guy just like literally just like staring into the camera like this, and he was like, "You're like so pretty." And I was like, "Thank you." And then I was like, "Oh, thank you for the compliment." And then I would try to move on to something else, and he was kind of just like, "You're so pretty though." And I was just like,
Oh,
"Dude,
that's creepy. I
it
mean,
was
it's
it was
nice, but
it was creepy. It was creepy." And then I did have a guy go like, he went through literally like a checklist of things where he was like, are you a smoker? You know, do you like cats or dogs? Do you do this? Do you like, it was literally like a rap sheet of just like, da 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 da, answer my questions. And then he goes, and how old are you? And I was like, sir. and then I was and then I was like, I'm 34. And he's like, huh. So you're 34 and still single. Why is that? And that's usually what you get is like the, huh, I'm confused. Why is that? You know, as if you're some kind of a mutant with like three heads. And
I
it's
know,
just
but they're
like,
not young either, these men, are they?
no.
So so you could just do the same thing, and so how about this? You answer my question. How old are you and why are you single? Why is it, see, this is the thing. Why is it okay that men are single at a certain age and that's okay? Why is
That's
it
it.
that we cannot be, well, why is it not okay?
Mm-hmm. It's a great question, Karen. And I feel like that is like ding, ding, ding. Like we just found it. It's like a man at my age would not be looked at like with any
Oh no,
stigma,
they will
right?
be
They'd
like,
be
you are
like,
prime real estate at 34. You are prime real estate, because why? You would think that you have sorted you're, financially you should be stable. You are finally grown up, but I assure you, I'm not being a racist or anything, but the one I have at home, he is like 50-ish. No, not grown up yet. So so yes, financially, yes, very stable. And why is it like that? Why is it that we have to cop the shorter end of the straw? Why?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Exactly. I think it's a great question, Karen, because like, would an attractive man of the same age be getting the same questions? Probably not. Like it would
No,
probably be like, wow, you're single. What a catch. Oh
isn't
my
it?
goodness. Like,
Isn't it? Oh my God, we have to turn this around, because you know what? We that's the thing. You should be the best catch ever. You've cleared, you've grown up, and you know exactly what you want.
mm-hmm.
And career is doing so
Exactly.
well. You are the catch, and you should be. And shame on
Mm,
those who don't think so,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. And I think like that's the whole thing too, Karen, is like there are so many like great women out there that are doing work on themselves, that are growing, that are healing, that are evolving themselves, that are up leveling in their finances and career and everything. And that's fantastic. And there's nothing wrong with that. And these women should be like, they're catches, man. Like they
They
are catches.
are. They are. Why is it? I don't know. I don't get it. So tell me, what are your current choices in life? What have you
Mm,
chosen for yourself?
for myself. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've chosen to, well, to be totally honest, I actually had a breakup with someone during COVID, which was also pretty traumatic. And after that, I decided I was going to take some time to be single and just to really have fun with myself and just heal and connect. And I took a solo trip. I took a solo trip to Colorado just to get out
Wow.
in the mountains and hike and like get into nature and just reconnect with my heart and journal and meditate and all of the stuff. And so I've since that time I've chosen to be single, like since that happened. And during that time, it's like I've just really gotten even more in touch with myself than I was before. And so from a choices perspective, I mean, I chose not to date. And now obviously I'm starting to kind of like dip my toes back in the water with like the virtual speed dating and all of that. But I think it's because I'm clear. Like I'm clear now what I want. And I know that it's going to come and I know that it's happening. And I'm just up leveling in my business and I'm choosing to focus on the things that bring me joy and to help people and to help other women, especially that are dealing with this kind of stigma and judgment and paradigms and conditioning and all of this bullshit.
Yeah, it is. It is a whole lot of bullshit, though. And I'm glad that you're here to talk to us about it, because a lot of people won't do it. because they carry so much shame.
Mhm.
And like you said, that we do, when the friends around us ask us questions or they question our choices, it makes us question ourselves. Like, shit, what are they seeing that I'm not seeing? Because they're my friends. So they have to be seeing something that we didn't see.
Mhm.
So for you to be able to stand firm, and this is one of the greatest qualities you have, is that you stand proud. And you know what? I know what I'm doing. I've got my back, and that's enough.
Mhm.
So that is so
Mhm.
powerful. That this is the message that we want to give to everyone out there, men or women. Don't bend because you think that's the right thing to do by social norms. Because when you're
Yes.
not happy, what are these social norms going to do for you? Nothing.
Mhm.
If you don't
That's
back
powerful.
yourself, that's it. So
Mhm.
for the last part of this interview, I would like you to share with us what are the pros and cons of making these choices. Let's start
Mm.
with the bad things, and then we can end with the good things. What are the bad things?
Yeah, I would say the cons are definitely some periods of loneliness. And I can say that, I've definitely experienced that. And I'm going to be totally honest right now, Karen, get ready for this. There's periods of time where you're just like, man, like I would just love to like have some hot man come over and let's just like,
Get on
because
with it.
right. Like I've just got some built up sexual frustration I want to unleash. But um, you know, so and also there's nothing wrong with that. I just want
Oh,
to point out,
absolutely.
like,
That is a topic for another day with someone when we talk about like why is it that why is it that as women we cannot enjoy sex? It's a myth.
oh,
We do.
I
We
know. I
love
was just
it.
gonna say, like,
I know my children are gonna die if they see this. They were like, oh, "Mom, you." We are human beings, so we're made the same. Why is it that we can enjoy fried chicken and wine, but oh no, women are no. Mm-mm. Why not?
Mhm.
We feel things too. Now keep going.
Yes.
It's about you. Keep going.
Okay. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so the cons list are, yeah, some loneliness, definitely some bouts of loneliness. The ups and downs of like dating, especially like during this time, like the speed dating thing for me, I was just like, oh my God, like what's going on here? So like dating can get frustrating, especially if you're like, I know what I'm looking for and I'm not finding it. Or on the other side, kind of like what I was saying, if you keep getting people who are like, so tell me why you're single. Tell me why you're single. Like it kind of, that can get annoying. That can get frustrating. And
Yeah.
you just want to like slap somebody a little bit. But and then obviously, as women, like, and this is another kind of quote unquote taboo thing. It's like there is a biological clock, right? Like if you want to have kids, if you want to have a family, it's like, okay, like there are some things that you do have to think about, right? Is
Absolutely.
like, what do I want for my future? But with that, that doesn't mean settling, and so I think from a cons perspective, just some of that biological clock pressure, I think is real, and there is some legitimacy to that. But you can work around that too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely ways to work around that. We can freeze eggs. There's so many ways to work around it. If that's what you really
Mhm.
want. Again, that is another societal pressure that we have to have children. Do we? I mean, I've got
Mhm.
children. The first one
Mhm.
happened, not by choice, but I chose to have him, and it's the best thing ever. But do we really? I've got friends who choose not to have children, and that's fine too.
Exactly. That's a whole nother set of pressures, right?
Oh, that's it. I don't know why. I guess it's how we are brought up. So tell me, let's wrap this up with fun stuff. So what are the pros?
Mm. The pros are, this is great. I've got some good ones. Are one, being able to have fun with yourself and like get to know yourself and take yourself out on dates. Like I took myself out on a date this morning. Like I went and took myself out for breakfast and I was just sitting at this little cafe and loving it. So really building a deep partnership with yourself being clear, knowing what you want, feeling good in your body, like feeling good with who you are and how you show up in the world. And also, another great thing. The more that you work on healing yourself and doing that inner transformation, the better quality partners show up for you. So like the people that I'm dating now are like light years better than what I was dating in my 20s. They just are. And it's because it's like a law of the universe. It's like you attract that which you are. So the more that you work on improving yourself and really building that partnership inside, you draw someone who is a mirror to you. And so
I love it. I love it because it's so, so true. And because you know what you want now and what you will not settle for. The minute someone who doesn't meet the standard, you're like, no, you're out. No, there's not even like a trial period or let's try it. No, it's like,
a trial.
Get.
Can we have a 7-day trial?
Hey.
I'm just thinking, it makes me think of like, you know, all the trial subscriptions for everything now. It's like, oh, 7-day trial. Do we want a 30-day trial? Like
That's it. No trial. No. We can jump straight in if you're the right fit. And I really like that. And a lot of people don't see it that way. That they think that all this, you know, inner work and, you know, all that is all too, I don't even know what's the word to use. That it's so intangible, but it's not. It's not though. The clearer about who you are and what you stand for, the people you attract will be very different.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we go, is there anything else that you would like to leave with the viewers today?
I would just say, guys, like, listen to your heart before anything, before like the societal conditioning, before some of the mental constructs that you have in your head. If you're looking for guidance on a decision, just pause, slow down, and really check in with your heart, because that will not steer you wrong. And I can attest to that. It's just been a powerful coming back home to myself and following that inner truth. So follow your truth.
That's it. And that's not to say it is not scary though, because we all have that gut feel about something like, oh, is it right or wrong? You know, the right decision will not feel bold or easy. It won't, but you'll feel right though, right, Heather? You'll feel right. You know that this is the right thing to do. Doesn't mean you'll be easy. You'll be hard because it's what you're brought up with. You don't want to disappoint people. You don't want to disappoint yourself, or you think you're disappointing yourself. If like, what if I don't go with this guy? You know, what if I don't find someone else again? You will.
Yes.
You will. You just need to trust that. Don't settle. We don't have to settle. Not anymore. Time has changed and it's time we change. And if more of us stand up and own this and say it's time to change, then nothing else will. So we've taken a step forward to come and share Heather's story. And look at her. How brave is she? So thank you for sharing your story.
Oh, thank you for having me on, Karen. This has just been so much fun. And you are just like so great to talk to. I could talk to you for hours. So
I can talk to you for hours. So we need to we'll just cut this off because we're going to keep talking. And then if you love what you're watching, subscribe to the channel and we will have more topics. And I'm sure Heather will come back at some point again because she's got so much to share. All right. We'll see you then. Bye. Then I have to stop.